is Traveling Diva here. I am here to talk to you about my best and worst airlines that I travel on. So this was by popular demand. I was requested to make this video and I'm going to talk about my experience with it. But before I start talking, don't forget to hit that like, subscription, and notification button so that you'll be notified when I do my next video. So I broke this down by low-cost carriers versus the average carrier. And to start off, because I wrote my notes down, to start off, I'm going to talk to you about the low-cost carriers, which are my preferred and which are the ones that are my least preferred. And literally, I broke them down into will and will not. So there's either airlines that I will fly with, and then there are ones that I just will not. The easiest thing is probably for me to tell you who I will not fly, and that's Spirit. I just have not had a good experience with them, and I don't care if their airline tickets are free. You will not catch me on their planes. The airlines that I will from a low-cost carrier fly, depending on the price and where I have to go, is Frontier. They're not my favorite, but when it is a short flight, it gets me where I need to go. I won't lie, I feel like I'm in a lawn chair with a tray table in front of me, but for a 60-minute flight, I remember being able to take a flight to Denver for $26 round trip. You can't beat that. I did not need to check a bag. I did not care where my seat was. So I wasn't going to pay anything additional to it. So I will fly Frontier, you know, depending on the circumstances, if I need to go somewhere and it's really quick. Internationally, I will fly Ryanair. I've had a very good experience with them. TAP Portugal, there's Transavia, Olympic Air, and then China Air. Now China Air, even though that's not a short flight that I would typically take, in their business class is actually quite comfortable and it's economical. So I will fly China Air when I'm in business class, and that's from a low-cost carrier perspective. That's my will and will nots. Now for, I would say, the average airline, the ones that, we'll start with the ones that I just think that's okay. And by okay, it means that they're not my best. They're also not the worst. I will still fly them, but they just don't have any frills as much of it as well with it. And so that, I'm going to start with American. American is one of them. United, British Airways, Air Canada, Fiji Airways, and British Airways. They're just okay for me. I'm not saying that I wouldn't fly them because I actually have flown them and I will use them. But when I have a choice, I typically will choose not to fly them if I can go with the ones that I prefer. And the ones that I do prefer is Delta, Southwest. Now Southwest, let me tell you, even though that is technically a low-cost carrier, the reason why I like them is because they are solid. You know what you're going to get. You know that you don't have an assigned seat. You get 2 free check bags. There is no first class section, so I typically only fly them if it's less than 3 hours. But it's, you know exactly what you're going to get. You know that if your flight ticket goes down, you can go back online and get the lower price. So for me, they're just definitely a solid airline, and I've had pretty decent experiences with them. I can get there in one piece, my luggage gets there, and I don't really have any major issues with them. Same thing with Delta. Love Delta. To me, their service as well as the comfort of their planes is just better. So that it just makes them step above the others. Alaska Air. Love my Alaska Air because they have the same thing. Very good customer service. Same with Hawaiian Airlines. When I'm flying internationally, I'm talking about Singapore Airlines, Emirates, Lufthansa, and JetBlue. These are all my favorites. So if I had to compare favorites for okay, if favorites come up into that price, I'm actually going to go with my favorites first because that is the comfort of where I want to be at, and I like the service. And you think about when you book an airline ticket, when things go well, they go well. But when they go wrong, you want to make sure that you are flying with a carrier that is going to resolve this to your satisfaction. And that is one of the reasons, the differences that set them apart for me. But I will say this here, for those who do like the low-cost carriers, because again, there's nothing, I don't want to bash them and make it seem as if, you know, they're just no good at all, because like I said, I've flown them before. I've flown Spirit, I've flown Frontier, I have not flown Allegiant. But if you're going to fly Spirit, Allegiant, or Frontier, consider purchasing your ticket at the airport. I think I did a video, I know I did a video, when probably my first video, I talked about how you can save on the airline booking fee, which ranges anywhere between $8 to $40 a ticket, just by going to the airport to purchase a ticket. So what it is that it's an online booking fee that you don't necessarily see. It's embedded within the taxes. So the next time they run those penny fares, if you go down to the airport, you'll find that that fare is typically going to be about $10 to $20 cheaper, if not more. Depending on where the airport is, it may or may not be worth it for you. But if you are flying or purchasing a couple of tickets, it may be worth it for you to go down to the airport to pick that up. And if you don't believe it, all you have to do is find the airline ticket, call that airline up. So again, Frontier, Spirit, or Allegiant, Call them up and ask them, if I come to the airport to purchase the ticket, how much is the ticket? And it's going to be different than what you see online. So just remember that tip that I'm telling you in terms of how to save. So I think I answered all the questions, but if I missed anything, let me know. Comment below. Don't forget to click like, share, and hit that subscription and notification button. Until the next time, happy travels.